Hello there again, students of information architecture. This is your Professor Keith Schengili-Roberts, talking to you about how to use the program called Balsamiq for creating medium fidelity, workable, clickable prototypes that you can use to display particular flows that you have created for your target website. So in other words, creating improved flows for your target website. And just again, a reminder, the class license that is available for using this particular the program is available in Quarkus. So go there if you don't already have it. I will also be mentioning some additional reading material. I highly recommend that you don't come into this cold, so I'll be posting some links to reading material for how to use Balsamiq. There's also a really good YouTube channel on Balsamiq, so again, highly recommend you have a look at that. And what I'm just going to do is give you a quick sort of look at the program and what you'll be expected to do with this particular version of the program. So without any further, without further ado, here's the actual. This is what you're going to see when you get when you start a brand new project in Balsamiq, and you can see here there's already a bunch of what are known as common elements that you can use to populate items on your screen. And this is, one of the nice things about this program is that it already has these things already here for you. You don't have to, recreate a combo box. You don't have to recreate in detail things like text areas and text inputs and scroll bars and so forth. This stuff is already here for you. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, the first thing I'd suggest you have a look at is go to containers. And containers, in this case, essentially means, here is, how you can actually display the content for your particular project. So let's say, for example, you decided you want to do a mock-up of your target website and the specific flow you want to show as it would appear within, say, an iPhone. So you simply click on that, you drag it down, and you actually get a nice outline of a typical iPhone body, so to speak. So I'm just going to shrink that down so it actually fits within the view here, and that's exactly what you would see. And then this would essentially be the area which you could then work within. And you can see it's it's deliberately crude, but it's usable. It's functional for however you might actually want to use it. And in fact, if I stretch it out a bit more, you can actually see more of the details. So I probably didn't expand that properly when I first brought it down, but now you can see here is the time, and you also get the usual things that come up automatically within the iPhone UI, and there's also a different one if you wanted to use, like, essentially it's say a more generic one, or perhaps just say an Android version. Here is the same thing for this particular form factor. And you can also, of course, do the same thing for a browser window. So here is a browser window and a web page. Well, I'm not going to worry about the title of it at this point. I can just come back and do that later. But here is a web page. I'm actually going to make this a slightly larger. So there we go, and you can see it's it's crude, but it'll do what's necessary of it, and this is, as I say, a deliberate part of the design of this particular software. It's so that people don't focus on the images so much as it gets the point across that this is this is wholly to sort of get people to focus on the flows of information, how to go from point A to point B, things like that. So having said that, I'm now going to give you a quick example of how you can actually move information over to this, like if you wanted to, say, mock something up. So I have, hopefully I still have this in my copy paste area. Here we go. So there we go. So here is an actual web page that I grabbed earlier, and I'm going to resize this image. So this is basically something I copied earlier, and here is the page. I'm going to size it to be roughly something that I can fit here on the screen. There we go. Just want to see if I can keep it in without having to do too much scrolling. I'm going to scroll down a little bit so I can have this whole thing here within the window, and I'm going to resize that. Okay. And you see it then snaps to it. So what I can then do is that I can go in and try to essentially try to recreate the aspects of this. So in this case, I'm going to go to, so let's see, first thing I'm going to want to do is, and this just because it's essentially the easiest thing, is this big honkin' image that takes over most of the screen. And this is one of the conventions when you're doing low to medium type fidelity mock-ups, is that, again, we're not interested so much in the images, just to say this is where an image would go. So I'm going to drag this down, and I'm going to put in what you see here, COVID-19 response, emergency, good food box. Okay, so we have the image that then goes with that. And now I'm just going to essentially place that over that space. And you can see there's also a donate button there, so I don't want to forget that. But there is that nice large image. And then I want to throw in, now, let's see, a button. Here we are. Now, what does that button actually say again? I think it just says donate. Yes. Okay, so that's what I'm going to have it say. I'm going to drag this button down, and I'm going to have it say donate. And I'm going to make it a bit larger because that is roughly, that is roughly the size of it. I'm just going to, okay, and I got this, okay. And it doesn't have to be exact, but in this case, again, I just sort of want to give you a sense as to, how this can actually be, how you can, fairly quickly mock up a website in fairly short order here. Let's see now. Let's see, other things we need to have here. Well, we need to have labels. In fact, no, well, labels, and strictly speaking, really what I want is the menu bar. Here we are. So basically what I want to do is replicate what I see here. It says home, donate, programs, activity, resources, about, and contact. So I'm going to move that here. And you can see that the way it's got it here is that it has a comma separator. So I'm going to do home, comma, donate, comma, programs, comma, activity, comma, resources, of course I need to spell that properly, comma, then about, and then comma, and then contact, and then that's it. Click on that, and you can see it comes up with a mock-up of it. Now, you can see in this case it's actually running a bit longer, but again, this is a low-fidelity mock-up. It doesn't really matter, that much in this particular case. So now I want to see, in fact, I don't remember exactly where this is going to be, so I'm going to click on all, because what I'm looking for, and what this does is it'll show all of the available elements in alphabetical order. So what I'm looking for is, I think there is something for logo. No, I guess there is not a logo thing in this particular case. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is go back to common and click image. I'm going to drag that here. And I'm just going to say food share logo. That will do just fine. There we go. And I'm just going to put that in basically the same space. There we go. That's good. And so this is giving you a sense as to how you can then as I say, you use Balsamiq for the various items on the page. Let's see, the other thing I want to do here, and there is also a, sorry, that's not a search function, that's a zoom function. What I want to look for, this is the actual search feature. I want to see if there is a search. Here we are, search plus, search minus. I think actually it's just going to be this. There we go. And I'm just going to pop that there. Whoops. Let's make that, I guess I should be able to make that. Okay, it doesn't seem to want me to resize that easily, but I think I can do the same thing here. There we go, see on the right. And that's the thing, is that the properties for these items appear on the right-hand side. So I'm just going to pop that there. And let's see, and then I have, let's see, we have labels, and these are essentially labels down here. It's sort of a combo of sort of a clickable area slash more information. So I'm just going to say that this is a label, And I'm actually not going to worry too much about what it says. Basically, some info 1. I'm going to pop that. I'm going to put that there. And while you can't actually see it too well because it's just sort of coming over, I'm just going to do the same thing. Make that number 2. Then make that number 3. And then let's see, and we have 5. So again, I'll do that. So we got 5 of these. And one more. Okay. And just to make sure that people understand that this is a clickable area. Now I'm thinking I could use icon, but yeah, I'm gonna use rectangle for this instead. So I'm just going to drag this rectangle down, and I'm going to put that there, and so it's essentially the same size. And you can see that there are things here on the right hand side, and things are arranged in layers. So I'm going to now try to push this down so that there we are. So then the text then appears over, and I'm going to make this text a bit bigger. So here's the text here. I'm going to make that say 15. Make it a bit bigger than that. Let's try 18. There we go. That seems about right. I mean, it's not an exact match, but it doesn't have to be because, of course, it's, you know, a low fidelity prototype. So let's do that again. Here's another box to go adjacent to that, and another one, and another one, and one final one here. And I'm actually going to make that slightly smaller. There we go. And if I'd been smart, I would have done the sizing thing first, but oh well, you know, that's fine. Pop that. Whoops. No. Okay. Do that there. Make that the right size. And then drag it on. Whoops. And whoops. Hang on. And clearly that is underneath that, so I'm going to move that up till it appears. There we go. Make this 18 point as well. And of course that's going to disappear, but then I can move it up in the stack. There we go. Some info 4, and then finally here, oops, sorry, wrong one. And this one, make that 18 point, drag that onto here, and bring that up in the layer stack. Here we go. There we are. And that's all of that there. And just for fun, I'm going to throw in, let's see, I want the, you see there's a whole bunch of things here. Horizontal scroll, radio buttons, individual, you know, it's a full search box if you want that. Text areas, you know, pretty much anything that you might want to have on a page is in fact here. And what I want is a vertical scroll bar, because I actually want to put that here, and I can then drag that to be the size that I want. So this is now my rough mock-up, and I'm just going to see if I can then access the individual image that's underneath it. There we go. So this is my mock-up. Yeah, I'm just going to drag that out of the way. Or actually, no. Actually, the better thing to do is, you know, so here is the original page, and right above it, here is now the mock-up that I've been able to come up with, and very quickly, in you know, in less than about 10 minutes or so, to come up with a you know, to replicate what's going on with this particular page. Now, actually, if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, you know, I could probably do a few refinements here and there, but again, you know, that's something you need to be careful of, because, you know, it's so easy to want to add, you know, greater fidelity, more. But again, the idea of a low or medium fidelity prototype is that, you know, you don't want to concentrate too much on, you know, the graphics and the images and so forth. You really just want people to focus on, you know, what's actually there, what's in front of you in terms of the labels and, you know, the labels and the navigation, and importantly, where things are on the site. So this is perfectly adequate. This is perfectly fine. So, you know, I'd say you don't necessarily have to do a lot more than this for the actual target websites that you're doing. Okay, so that's just sort of showing how to come up with a single page from scratch. Now, I want to show you how you know, the idea of the the studio assignment is actually what I wanted to do is to show a flow. So if I was doing something, say with this example, an obvious thing would be, okay, how do people, what is the way to get people to donate funds to food share in the best way possible? Now, and that would then constitute a flow that you could then mark out using a bunch of these different pages and showing how these individual flows work out. I already have something kind of like Julie Child. I've already got something prepped, so I'm just going to switch over to this other icon, this other window here, and here we are with a essentially looking at some ideas for how to do things for a Presto, and this is essentially buying a replacement card with an existing account, and you can see that I've got things done into separate steps here. I'm actually just going to, so hopefully don't, yes, it looks like I have to do that for each page, but essentially these are individual pages, and let me scroll up so you can actually see that this is all on a cell phone. I believe it's actually an iPhone or a generic version of a mobile phone. There we go. There we go. So we have, in fact, in this case, this particular thing takes 6 particular steps. So the idea would be that you would essentially mock up, say, the first page that you want to do within the framework that you want, and you might want to do it within a mobile framework. You might want to do it within, say, a regular web page. That's entirely up to you. Again, my point is that I want to see, how you are making an improved flow, and then you walk me through the various steps. So once you've come up with an initial version of things, the thing to do is that you then, and now this is just like the first page that I've been able to mock up, basically what you do is that you would then highlight the entire thing once you've got it all set up, and then you would copy it. I'm just going to do that, and then you see this plus symbol up here? That essentially creates a brand new layer, and that allows me to copy the entire thing here. So the nice thing is that if when you create like you create your target page and you have, say, the navigation all laid out and so forth, you can then reuse these on these individual mock-up pages. Now in this case, I'm not gonna keep this one, but this is really just to say here's how you would then create just to go from one page to the next page, so to speak. So that's I'm going to get rid of this one in this case because I already have these pages set up. Whoops! Oh no, I did duplicate. I thought it was delete. In fact, I want to move to trash, which is a rather odd way of saying these things. But okay, all right. So not D is for delete, is for duplicate. Okay, well that's on me. Now, in this case, you can see, I've actually got a little something here that says how a logged in user can buy a new card and then add funds to it. So I would like you to please do pretty much the same thing. I'd like you to tell me, what is this flow about? And then use this little note, this comment, little comment sticky note to tell me about what's going on and what should I actually be doing in this particular case. So in this case, this flow demonstrates how our user who is already logged in and who in this case has already provided payment details can order a new card and add funds, in this case $20, to it. The first stage exists on the main page of the Presto website, but near the bottom, note the scroll bar placement. Click the Order a Card button to start the flow. So what you see here is that we have a button, a nice big button here. And again, this is why this program is so nice and easy, great for doing clickable prototypes. If you want to have something that is clickable, that is actionable, you can see this on the right-hand page here, and you see that it then comes up with, one of the things that comes up is links. So long as you have more than one of these mock-up pages or steps, in what I call them here, you can then link to them. So essentially, somebody clicks anywhere else around here other than this button, nothing's going to happen. But in this case, if they click on this particular, actually, I just realized that what I just said is not entirely accurate, but bear with me a moment. So basically, if somebody then clicks on this, they will then go to step number 2, which is going to be this page here. That's exactly what we want. And the way this works is that essentially you come up with an actual, here's what's currently available. So the idea is that you will make the individual pages, that's what I recommend, the individual, pages in the flow, and then I want you to then go ahead and link them. And essentially, as I say here, click the order a card button, so it tells me what I should do. Now, having what I said earlier is that, if you wanted to, you can in fact come up with a full version of this website. You can in fact make this clickable as well. So in this case, this has no links to it, as you can see, but I can click on this and I can then have it go to a whole other page if that's what I want to do. In this case, I don't want to do that. I just want to highlight the aspects that pertain to this particular flow. And then in step 2, again, I'm describing what's going on. The user is presented with a picture of the card they're about to purchase along with its cost, which in this case is $6. Since the card has 0 funds, is not of much use, the user is then prompted to add additional funds to the new card. Click the select amount of funds option. So again, telling me what to do. So in this case, it's a drop-down menu. And you can see in this case, I've got it linked to step number 3. Perfect. So, and then I click on, then I go to step number 3, and sure enough, it actually comes, it gives me a nice little drop-down. And in this case, in order to avoid miskeying in a number due to the big finger problem with small form factors, a create custom amount would lead to a separate screen, so on and so forth. Click $20. So it's saying that, and again, you can see here now, the individual links are, linkable. So, and again, it helps people from this case from going to the wrong thing in your flow. So in this case, only the $20 option will lead to the next step, which is going to be this. Okay, and I think at this point you probably get the idea, and you can see other things are being updated. At this point, I have an icon, shopping cart icon, and hey, I've got, it has the number 2 in it, so there's 2 things. You can see that information is also being provided here, and we have a nice big checkout button. You get the idea as to what's going on. So now I'm just going to go. I don't have to go to this top portion again, but what I'm going to do now is I want to export to PDF. And let's see, in fact, I don't need this particular portion. I'm going to export to PDF. And I'm going to, let's see now. Let's see, can I put this in documents, downloads? That's probably the best bet. Okay. So exporting the mockups. And what I want you to see is the actual, oh, I thought it was going to open it. Oh, it does open it up for me. There we go. And let me just resize it so that you can see the actual effect. And, oops, make sure it's within the displayable window here in the video. Okay, so now this is the actual part that is in fact clickable. So click the order a card button. Okay, I'm on the PDF. You can see that the cursor changes from a sort of a crosshair to a finger on a hand, and I can click on that, and then it goes to the next page, and blah blah blah. I want to click on select amount of funds, so that's a clickable area, and again you can easily tell that, and then again here's the list, and it's like, oh, that's the part I want to go to next, and again I think this is checkout, and then complete order and done. So this is the actual intended effect that you'll get when you produce the PDF output of your Balsamiq medium fidelity mockup. So that's essentially, that is the essence of how to use this particular program. I've been using this for a while. So this a lot of this stuff is fairly straightforward for me. But having said that, this is definitely not rocket science. It is designed to be easy to use for first-time users. And as you can see, and the results speak for themselves. That you get, it's very easy to come up with a medium fidelity prototype, a clickable version in fairly short order. Now, this is designed, as I say, to only show a simple flow for one thing, but you can in fact mock up essentially the pretty much the entirety of a website if that is what you actually want to do using this particular program, and many professionals do exactly that sort of thing. So again, short tutorial. I hope this has been instructive for everybody, And I will talk to everybody on Tuesday. Take care, folks. Bye.